What's up, THS? I'm Mrs. Smith from the library. Our theme this week is Read with Pride, and these are my top three. This week, Ms. Jacobson and I are collaborating again to tell you about these three great books that celebrate LGBTQ plus authors and heroes. And my first pick may be one of the most important books that I've read in the last 10 years. It's a nonfiction novel that uses varying formats to tell the story of two teenagers from Oakland whose lives changed forever after they shared a bus ride home one afternoon. This book won a gang of awards, including a 2018 Stonewall. It's by journalist Dashka Slater, and it's called The 57 Bus. In November of 2013, a 16-year-old junior from Oakland High School named Richard gets on a city bus with a couple of his friends. On the back of that bus, a 18-year-old agender student called Sasha was sleeping. At some time during the course of the bus ride, Richard uses a lighter to set Sasha's skirt on fire. The material of the skirt fully ignites, charring a significant portion of Sasha's legs and sending them to the hospital. And while Sasha recovers in ICU, Richard is arrested for a hate crime. In this book, the author asks us to consider some essential questions. One of the most important being, is there a reason to differentiate between adult and juvenile offenders? But there are also other essential questions in this book, like what is homophobia and what constitutes a hate crime? And am I obligated to honor a person's pronouns or their gender identity? Ms. Slater documents this crime and the events that happened before and afterwards. And the result is this book, The 57 Bus, where she brings Richard and Sasha to life. If you are a teenager or if you work with teenagers, I cannot recommend this book highly enough. My suggestion is that you find someone to read it with, because reading this book, you'll have a lot to talk about. So that is book number 3. It's called The 57 Bus, and it's by Dashka Slater. My next pick was a recommendation from the other Mrs. Smith. She listened to the audiobook version of this next story over the summer and loved it. This is a story about coming out and coming of age. It is a novel in verse, shout out to last week, and it's the debut of poet Dean Atta. It's called The Black Flamingo. Our protagonist in The Black Flamingo is Michael, and in this series of connected poems, Michael gives us a look into his life starting when he was a young boy living in London with his mom and his younger sister. Michael is of mixed race. His mom is Greek and his dad is Jamaican, and from the time that he's a kid throughout his time in college, Michael wears this burden of not feeling like he's enough for any of the communities that he belongs to. He's not white enough for his mom's family, he's not black enough for his dad's family, and he's bullied and lectured at school for not being masculine enough. This novel is beautifully and vulnerably written, and in it we get to watch Michael discover how to move through the world, whether that is his own family, college, or ultimately the stage where the Black Flamingo is born, as this fully realized, boldly expressed version of himself. If you have read The Poetex by Elizabeth Acevedo, I would recommend this one to you as well. This is very similar to The Poetex. It's like The Poetex with a feather boa and glitter and a British accent. It's so, so, so good, and it is my number 2 pick for our theme of Read with Pride.
Hello everyone, I am going to talk to you about Ask the Passengers. It is by A.S. King, and she is one of my favorite young adult authors because her books are edgy. And edgy for me is code for like, might be some good stuff in there. This one is it's a little chubbier than normal, and it is written definitely on the ninth or 10th grade reading level. The main character is Astrid Jones. She has a job. She is a teenage girl. She has parents who are completely neglectful. They have no clue what's going on in her life. And her mom really favors her younger sister over her. And she takes her sister to like the mall and to go shopping and to buy fancy clothes. And they just connect a lot better. And Astrid's like, I don't really care about any of that stuff. So Astrid spends a lot of time in her backyard laying on a picnic table, staring up at the sky, and when airplanes fly over, she sends little wishes up to the passengers. Also, the start of every chapter has like one of those passengers and what they're personally wrestling with in their own lives. So you kind of get this weird magical realism. There's a connection between Astrid and the energy she's sending out to the passengers, and also the passengers feeling that kind of that goodwill and good nature and good energy coming into their lives. The real story is about Astrid's sexuality. So besides not being supported at home and feeling like her friends are they don't really know the real her, she's trying to figure out who the real Astrid is. And she has been making out with a girl at work in like the walk-in cooler, and she's asking herself, like, do I just like the attention? Am I bored? Do I feel like this is who I am? Am I really attracted to her? Am I just, passing the time at work? And it is Astrid trying to figure out not only how to love herself, but who she's going to love. So the tagline on the back cover says, "How do you give your love away when no one seems to want it? You send it to the sky and hope the right person catches it." So she is trying to give her love away. She's sending all that positive energy up to the passengers. And in her real life, she's also trying to figure out how can she be loved and who can she give her love to. It's a great read.
Now, I love young adult literature, and I love representation across all spectrums because it reminds me of you all. And as an ally, I learned so much when I read about characters whose life experiences differ from mine. And as a human, I can tell you that it means the world to me to pick up a book and see a hero, a love interest, a protagonist who looks and loves and moves through the world in a similar way that I do. One great way to celebrate all that love and representation is to read books, and to read books about people who may be different from you. So that might be one of the 3 books that we've talked about today. If not, I've got a gang of other books here in the library that you might be interested in. Perhaps you are wondering how you're going to get those books because you're not at school until the end of the month. If you go to our website right now, which I recommend that you do, or if you check the link in your email, you will find a way to set up a reservation to come pick up a book curbside. That is the curbside library request form. It's on the front page of the website. Like I said, the link is also in your email here. You'll come up to the school at an appointed time and meet me in the south parking lot. I'll toss the book in your car, maybe some candy too. It'll be great. It'll be fun for both of us. So if you are trying to get a library book or perhaps an English textbook for one of your advanced English classes, I do have some options for you while we are fully remote. Please go to the library website to check that out. And once again, thank you so much for watching these videos. I will be back next week with some more book recommendations for you. Take care. Bye-bye.